So this video is going to go through some two-part trigonometry and Pythagoras problems. So it just means that you've got a couple of things to do before you get your final answer. So in an exam, these questions would be worth at least 4 or 5 marks because there's quite a few steps involved with them. So the first thing is that I've missed the right angle on that triangle there, so I'm just going to add that in. So if that's missing on yours, just assume it is a right angle, which is bad of me really, but that's what it should be there. So trigonometry, just a reminder, because next week we're going to move on to other things. So trigonometry, just a reminder that it only works in right angle triangles. So that's why I rushed to put that right angle in there. And same with Pythagoras as well. So Pythagoras only works in right angled triangles. So the first thing, we're trying to work out this value here of x, that length. So to do that, there's no way of using that big triangle to work out that whole length there, but what we can do is break it up to that length there and then this length here, work those two lengths out, and then we can add them together to get x. So you'll notice that we've got this triangle here on this side. Don't know if that made any difference or not. It doesn't really, does it? I'll just go around the edge of it, but the triangle here on the left, we know that that is 7, and we know that that angle there is 40. So if I label my sides with the H, O and A, so this is the longest, my angle's here, so the 7 is the opposite, and so this one must be the adjacent. Now I know that the opposite is 7, so I'm going to tick the opposite, and I'm trying to work out this distance here, which is the A. So it doesn't have an X on it, but that's the one that we're trying to work out, so that then we can add it to that one in a minute. So that's the other one I'm going to tick. So that tells me I need a triangle with O and A in it. So I'm just going to keep the triangles up here so that I can keep referring back to them actually. So we've got Sof, Ka, Toa. So I need a triangle that's got O and A in it. So that's going to be this one here. Now I'm trying to find A. So if I just rewrite that triangle so I can scribble on it in a minute. So I'm trying to work out what A is, so therefore I'm going to cover up the A, and that means I've got O over T. Now when you do that, that means it's going to be a division, and you need to make sure that you start with the thing on top, which is the O in this case. So I need to start on O, which is 7, and then I'm going to divide that by T, which stands for tan. So divide it by tan, your calculator opens up your brackets, and that's a reminder that you need to put the angle in your brackets like that. So 7 divided by tan 40 is 8.34, and I know this is really boring to watch, 2275148. However, it is going to be something I'm going to keep saying during this video, in that you can't round anything until you get to the very end. Okay, so we're going to remember that that value there was, I won't read it out again, but it's that value there. Okay, so don't round anything until you get to the very last step of your calculations. So now we're going to do a similar kind of thing for this triangle over here. So we're going to work out what this value here is, or this length. So again, I'm going to label my sides, kind of forget about the triangle on the left, just look at the one on the right. So this is my longest side, the angle is here, so this is my opposite, and this therefore is my adjacent. So again, I still know that the length here is 7, so I know that O is 7, and I'm trying to work out A again. So therefore I need a triangle with O and A in, so in this case it's going to be exactly the same triangle, and I'm going to cover up the A again because it happens to be the A that I want to find. So just for revision's sake, if you were trying to find the opposite, for example, you would cover up the O, and that would mean you times them, but I'm trying to find A, so I'm covered up A, and it needs to be O divided by T. So I'm going to do 7 divided by tan 31 this time, because I'm using this triangle, so I want this angle. So 7 divided by tan 31 is 11.64995638. So I'm going to leave that on my calculator, and now I just need to add those two lengths together to get the whole length of x. So I just need to add on this one here, so 8.3422755148, and here's your final answer. So the final answer is 19.9 99223152. Now you can round this one because this is our final answer. So it would depend in the exam if they say they want it rounded. So it's completely up to you if it doesn't say how you want to round that. So I'm going to go for 2 decimal places, excuse me, because that looks quite nice. It's only got a 2 after it, so that's quite an easy way to round my answer. So it'd be 19.99 centimetres, because all the other measurements are in centimetres, and that's to 2 decimal places. Right, the next one. So again, we've got 2 triangles, but this one is slightly different, just of the way the triangles are arranged. So when you've got 2 triangles like this, the trick usually is to work out the kind of shared side here in the middle of them. So on the previous one, we didn't need to work out that shared side because we were already told it was 7. So if you're not given that shared side, that's usually the trick to start these problems off. So to work out this shared side here, you've got to think about both triangles and which one's going to help you to work out that shared side. So if I covered up the top one, then I've just got one side that I'm trying to find. I don't know any other length, and so if you try to use anything on that triangle, you basically just wouldn't get very far with it. So it's going to be the top triangle, and I know this length and this length. Now if you know 2 lengths and you're trying to work out a third, it is Pythagoras' theorem. So that is where you square your 2 sides that you're given. So 10 squared is 100, 4 squared is 16. If you're trying to work out one of these shorter sides, you take them away. If you're trying to work out the longer one, you add them. So I'm trying to work out this one, so I'm going to take them away. So 100 take away 16, which is 84. And then you have to square root your answer. Now you either, again, work out what that is and write the whole thing down, or you can just leave it here as a square root of 84, because then you know that that's an accurate answer. So if you prefer to work it out and use the whole decimal here, then you are more than welcome to do that as well. So now I'm going to look at the bottom triangle, and to work out x, I've got an angle here, so chances are this is going to be trigonometry, isn't it? So this is my longest side, so that's h. Here's my angle, so this is O, and therefore this one must be A. So I know that A is the square root of 84, and I'm trying to work out h. So this time I need a triangle with A and H in it, which would be this one up here. So CAH, the cab one. I am trying to work out the H, so I'm going to cover that one up, and we've got a division again. So it's going to be A divided by C. So A is the square root of 84, or the really long decimal if you wrote that down, divided by C. So C stands for cos, and your calculator opens up your bracket and you just put in the angle. So square root of 84 divided by cos 30. So make sure you're doing it that way round, starting with the A, dividing it by cos 30. So you get 4 root 7 for my one, which is 10.58 centimetres to, again, 2 decimal places. The final question then for today's video is working out this little distance here. So again, we've got 2 triangles joined together. We don't know that shared side, so let's try and work that out first. So this is the one that we want to work out first. So looking at this one, that's the length I'm trying to work out. There's no other information apart from one angle. That's not going to help me. So let's look at this triangle here, where I know a length, I know an angle, so I can use trigonometry to work out this one. So labelling your sides, H, O, A. I know that H is 6, and I'm trying to work out O. So this time the only triangle with O and H in it is this one, the solve one. So SOH. So I'm going to cover up the O because that's the one I'm trying to find. So this time, very exciting, this time we get to multiply rather than divide. So it's going to be sine 33, because that's what the angle is, times by H, which is 6. So that's going to give us a nice horrible decimal. So 33 times by 6. So that makes it 3.2. And remember, we are not done yet, so we are writing down that whole value. So that is what that shared side there is. So you might want to add that on. Obviously, we could just put 267 ... for now, but we know that's what it means. And now we're going to use trigonometry again to work out x over here. So on this triangle, this is my longest, this is the opposite, and this is the adjacent. I know O, I know O is 3.267 ... and I'm trying to work out what A is. So it's going to be O and A that I need. So that is going to be the TOA triangle. So I'm trying to work out A, so cover up A, and I've got O divided by T. Now O is the really long decimal, so 3.2678341. I'm going to divide by T, so divide by tan, and the angle is 50. So if you're clever like me, you've got it saved on your calculator already, so I don't need to type that in on again. Divided by tan 50, and here's our final answer. So it's okay to round this. It's 2.74 centimeters to 2 decimal places.